The stronger the challenge, the better the response. Welcome to the Strawberry Seals.
Hello everybody, off week from dual swimming here for In the Deep End with Coach Mehrad, but that doesn't mean that kids can't come to practice. And with having said that, how has practice been going with this off week? The kids kind of away from like dual competition.
It's been great. We got most of our younger coaches, our college kids back, so we've been running much more individualized practices. There's a coach in every lane now, and this is how we're going to finish out the season, try to maximize.
Did I see Maggie Whalen, by the way? How'd it go?
Yeah, Maggie Whalen, Zach Cohen, they've both returned.
That's awesome. And have you liked what you've seen so far with the kids?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. They're improving a lot, and I think especially now that we have you know, this really high coach-to-kid ratio for the remainder of the season, I think the kids are going to end really strong. You know, when right now a lot of kids are getting 4-to-1 in practice, especially in the younger age groups where it's 4 kids, 1 coach. So hopefully, you know, the investment the team has made in that is going to pay off by the end of the season.
Yeah, it only helps in the development as the season kind of rolls on. And speaking of season, we're 3 dual meets in. There's 4 more left on the schedule, so we're kind of close to kind of a mid-season mark. Can you give us a sense of maybe a coach's report card so far?
Well, I think the first 3 meets went well. I think in the last meet the kids were, you know, kind of getting on the exhausted end of things because it had been 4 weekends in a row competing. And I think this break this weekend is going to help refresh them and kind of give us energy to go into the next 4 weekends in a row of meets.
Yeah, that's Swim Marin that'll be coming up on the weekend. In fact, we'll actually have a chance to host a meet after being on the road for so long. I wanted to address this one thing, not really related to rec league swimming, but I do believe this really is a shot in the arm for the sport, and that is the story that California is actually going to have a state high school championship meet. How about that, Coach?
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I mean, it'll be like a mini junior nationals.
Yeah.
Some of the best swimmers of the country will be there. You know, when you take Northern and Southern California, you put it together, you really have one of the strongest regions in the nation swimming-wise. So it should be exciting. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, if they televise something like that.
Yeah, I would think so. There's 10 sections that kind of split up the state, and of course up here the NCS, that's one of the fastest around. So this is really going to be some kind of a showcase for high school swimming. Hey, speaking of high school, this is a fun one right here, and I would just love for you to weigh in once we see it. We have a story. Now there's 10 teams that make up the Marin Swim League. We found one particular swimmer that is simply outstanding for a lot of different reasons. Here is the story of a true inspirational swimmer. Shannon Dugdale is a champion, but there are no wins, no ribbons, no trophies with her name on it. Yet in the lore of the Novato Riptide swimming program, her presence makes her unforgettable.
Swimmer, take your march.
15-year-old Shannon Dugdale was born with spina bifida and hydrocephalus, which took away the use of her legs, but not her will to go for it after 5 corrective surgeries.
I'll try to see if I can do it, and I'll try to make it work, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I try to make most things work.
And she was about 5 or 6, and she wanted to be in the pool, and okay, I'm not real sure, and the coach said, let's put her little floaties on and let's just let her swim with the team for fun. And she'd do that, and then the next year, coach said,
take them off. So we did, and she was fine from then on. And then probably the most memorable thing was, I'm feeling it right now, Shannon's first swimming meet. Her mom and I were both at the side of the pool and kind of holding on to each other and just, just kind of choking up because it really was a special thing.
The Dugdales are a swim family. Older sister Kelly is a star swimmer for Novato High School. 50 fly, huh? Nice, nice. And you're gonna crush her?
Yeah, hopefully. One that's disabled can do it. I think anyone should try it because they probably could do it.
But you don't look at yourself as disabled.
Yeah,
though.
I don't. Yeah, like I don't say I'm disabled. Like I'm just the same as everyone else. I just have to change a little bit of stuff.
Shannon just never gives up, and she won't let anyone else give up. She'll yell at you until you go too.
She's always here on time. She always gives her best effort. She never complains. She tries all the silly things we try to give her to make her a better swimmer. She never says no to anything we ask.
You know, Coach, you're not going to believe this. She also rock climbs, and she goes up to Tahoe and snow skis. I mean, this is a woman that just goes for it. And in your coaching career, have you ever really had a swimmer of character like Shannon Dugdale?
We've been fortunate enough to have several kids of, high character here. One in particular that comes to mind is Lucy Williams, who's actually getting married at the end of the month. She competed in the DAAA several times, which is the Dwarf Athletic Association of America, and ranked very high in in all the races she competed in there. It actually competed in the World Games for her division of athletes. And one thing about having athletes like that on your team is they're inspiring to you as a coach, but they also help build the character of a team, because the kids see it's not just about competition, but it's about people going out and just giving everything they can give to the sport. And it's tremendously beneficial for a team to have high character athletes like that.
Well, we are going to get a chance to see Shannon and the Novato Riptide on June 7th. Now, speaking of June 7th, it's going to be a long, long day, at least for the adults. It is the annual SEALs Splash, as modeled by one of our young swimmers right there to kind of promote it. And I'll give you the particulars on this one. It'll be from 7 to 11 p.m. It's going to be held at Wellington's Wine Bar in Sausalito. Tickets, $50 per person. It includes a raffle ticket, although you can buy additional raffle tickets. And let me tell you, these items, after having gone to some of these before, are no cheapies. So the SEAL Splash will be on June 7th. And if that isn't enough, Coach, we will have the Swimathon at practice the day before on June 6th. And that is a chance for swimmers to really kind of make their practice pay, huh?
Absolutely. We're hoping that we can raise a lot of money for that. This year we're doing something special with the Swimathon. We're going to be donating a portion of the proceeds from the Swimathon to the Soma Foundation.
And explain to the folks what the Soma Foundation is.
The Soma Foundation is a swimming foundation whose mission is to provide swimming to underserved communities. In Marin, we target two specific communities, the Canal area and Marin City, and providing free lessons to get kids to be water safe. Among underserved communities, one of the leading causes of child fatalities is drowning, and it's a serious problem, and we hope to address it for our local communities to the extent we can by providing kids with water safety. But more than that, to give them access, to the water, because it's a wonderful place, and learning to swim is a skill you carry through life, and really it does more than makes the kids safe, but it gives them access to kind of joy that you can only get from being in the water.
Yeah, and some of this money raised, it really goes to cover some of the really important costs to kind of make things go. I'm just reading here, it goes to cover the cost of our storage trailer, the Colorado timing system, the pace clocks, the PA system that we have, and the shade tents for the swimmers and the volunteers. So that's a really, really important thing. That will be the Swimathon, and that will be on Friday, June 6th at practice. Well, that's going to just about do it for this edition of In the Deep End with Coach Mehrad. Do you have any kind of final thoughts as we kind of roll right into this next week of practice leading up to Swim Marin?
Good attendance through the rest of the season will be the key to kids getting a lot more best times and the team progressing towards a strong finish to championships.
All right, well, that'll do it. And we will leave you with this, some images, some fun that some of the kids had at the Memorial Day Parade. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.